cracks me the hell up. Oh, bloody hell. But I'm not going to even waste any more time. We're going to bring up our headliner, our closer of the show, so then you guys can have your conversation. Mr. or just Gaz.
Awesome. Hello, everybody. Yeah, there he is. Hey, what's happening?
Told you I'd be here.
You did, and you showed up. You are a man of your word, and I appreciate that. What's going on? Are you with this whole group? No? Well, what's your guys' deal? You guys didn't know there was like... Oh, is that where you came from? Yeah, you guys look very familiar. Not familiar, but familial is the word I'm looking for. Yeah, I can tell. Like, very functional, not like my family at all. Not like my family at all. We're very dysfunctional. It's fun. So this is like my return to comedy. I did comedy like 9 years ago, and I put like 5 years together, like trying to make it. I was like Simon over here. Where's Simon, the guy who was just up here? New, eyes were bright, thought maybe I'd be famous, going around blowing people to get on stage, whatever he's doing. But then I got a real job, because turned out this job doesn't pay anything, so I had to go get a real job. Got out of comedy, been out of it for 9 years. Finally, Milton calls me up and he's like, hey, I got a gig for you. I got a gig I'm doing over at Giovanni's. And I'm like, you know what? That's the show I was waiting for to come back out. You talking about that bar over there in Willowick? Fucking A, man, I'll be there. Man, this is going to be my big moment. So, yeah, pretty excited. Hey, what happened to the gentleman with the beard? I love that thing. Where'd that guy go? What's that? I'll wait till he comes back in here, because I want to talk about him. I absolutely love that guy. And to be honest, I tell you what, now I find out, he hasn't laughed the whole time, and now you're coming from a funeral, it starts to make more sense. But I'm still gonna make fun of him, because I like his beard. And I had a beard too for a minute. All right, you know what, forget it. I'm not even gonna do that joke, we'll get back to it in a second. In fact, I am excited to be here at Giovanni's. I actually didn't know where this place was. And Milton called me up, he goes, hey, Gaz, I want you to come up and I want to do a show. It's gonna be over at Giovanni's. I didn't look it up. And when I was doing shows beforehand, like I would get bookers and they would send you out of state, and they would send you like Joey's or a bar, or occasionally get something real like hilarities, when I was like, of my 99 shows I would do in a month, that would be one of them. The rest of them would be at other places like this and Giovanni's, and I would never know where I was going to. Like, was this gonna be a stage, or was it just gonna be some guy Giovanni there when I got there just, tell me some jokes, funny man. Tell me some jokes. And I will tell you jokes, Giovanni, just if you could, please quit fingering your belly button. It's making it weird for me for the joke scene. But I would do it. $20 is $20. I don't care. I'll get to my jokes. Get right into them. I got pulled over this morning. That's a real thing. That's not even part of the show. I don't get a chance to vent very often. I actually got pulled over. I was on my way to work. Cop pulls me over, super nice. She gets out, she comes up to my car, and I'm sitting there ready. Got my everything going on. She goes, pulling you over for speeding. I was like, yeah. She goes, you were going 80 and a 60. And I looked right at her, I'm like, yeah, that sounds about right. Sounds like your gun totally works. So she goes, where are you going? I go, I'm going to work. I'm on my way right now. She goes, what time you gotta be there? I go, I gotta be there in 9 minutes. She goes, wait, I'll be right back. She was super nice. She goes back to the car, comes back. Hey, my last name's Simmons, so I'm going to help you out with that. She goes, Mr. Simmons, we're going to let you go. Oh, thank you so much. She goes, you're going to have to keep it down, though. Don't be speeding like that. I'm like, hey, no problem. I really appreciate it. Which made me feel really bad, because literally, 2 seconds later, I was speeding. I wasn't even, 5 feet from her car, and I'm just like, I'm hitting 75. I just got done telling her she should have known better. I was 9 minutes late when she pulled me over. Do the math, I am now 6.5 minutes late. I still have to get to work. I'm like, oh, I'm a fucking asshole. Oh. You know what, though? As soon as I got out of work, I'm turning over a new leaf. I did have that conversation in my head. And I did. I've been pretty good about it all day. I've been not late. I don't know. She really got to me. Now, normally I don't look at notes, but like I told you, I haven't done comedy for 9 years, so we're going to be a little bit amateurs. Oh, this happened. A couple weeks ago. I broke up with my girlfriend. Yeah, kind of cliche joke, I get it, but yeah, I know, no. So she calls me up. No, listen, she calls me up and she's like, hey, Gaz, I don't want to see you anymore. And I'm like, well, first of all, I'm not gonna have a girlfriend I don't even see. So I dumped her. Yeah. Hope she gets over that. It's been fucking tough. I mean, yeah, I'm not that good at relationships. You guys probably are. You're a whole family together. Everyone has probably successful relationships right there. I can tell. Yeah. That wasn't supposed to be a joke. That was a celebration of your family. That's what that was. But I am miserable. I'm just miserable with him. Not the last girlfriend, but when I was actually doing the comedy, that was my last relationship. So since then I've been just super busy raising kids, doing things. But my problem is, like, I would lie occasionally, right? And not like big lies. Not like, hey, are you having sex with anyone else? No. You know, not that lie. That's a horrible lie. It'd be like little lies, and that's my problem in relationships. I could never figure this shit out. She didn't like that I was always going around doing these comedy things. Listen to this lie that I told her. She didn't like it because I would be going, not getting paid, right? You know, doing like free stuff, or when I would, you get like small amounts of money, like we would barely pay for gas for your car. So I was going to do a gig one night on a Friday night. She's like, are you getting paid for this one? I'm like, yeah, I'm getting paid for it. She's like, how much are you getting paid? The fact of the matter was, I was getting paid $10. That's it. But what I told her was, I was getting paid $15. That's the line that I decided to tell her. How ridiculous is that? Like, what was I thinking? Like, at $10? Hey, I'm getting paid $10. She's gonna be like, you're a fucking loser. Get out of this house. You're a piece of shit. But $15, she's gonna be like, oh my God, Gaz, you're a real hunter, a real provider. Tell you what, here, let me get you ready. Let me blow you on the way out the door while you make that $15. There he goes, my champion. Yeah. I mean, I don't even know what I'm thinking when you tell a lie like that, because then eventually you get caught. Now she's like, oh, you're a liar, you lie about everything. I don't lie about everything. God, this is stupid. This is stupid. So I'm single. That's been going on. There he is. There's this fucking guy. I love it. The only reason I like him is because I attempted a beard for a while. Like, hey, we were just talking about, sorry about the funeral. That part was. But I did appreciate the whole family. You guys look amazing. And I did pretty much guess that you had no idea there was going to be a comedy show here. Which happens all the time when you do these bar things. Like, I've done this a lot. So I wasn't even uncomfortable with this at all. I was like, oh, I can't wait to get up, entertain these people. They're going to be like, oh, I don't want to do it. And then he force you to listen a little bit. Anyways, here's the deal. I tried growing out a beard. And I did it. Like, I committed. It's during COVID when we didn't have a job, right? But what I found out is, like, growing a beard is an act of laziness from the beginning. That's how it starts. Like, one time you started to grow that out, one girl told you, that looks pretty good. And you're like, oh, fuck it. All right. I'm just going to keep growing with it. I'm going to go with it, right? I'm going to show you my picture right here. And that's exactly what I did. Because I was hanging out with one girl. She told me it was cool. So I grew it. Check this shit out. I mean, that was like 3 months growth. That's not bad. You know, I mean, it's not a champion. Look, that's not bad, right? Yeah, thank you. Thank you. I know it is. I know it is. Check it out. Oh, there it is. Get that right in there. Here's my problem. And one day I didn't see this. Like, I didn't see this for the whole 3 months that I was dating this girl. Eventually, I looked in the mirror because I had nothing else to do. I drank, I ate, talked to this girl. She told me I was good looking. Fuck yeah. Finally, I look in the mirror. I look at this, and I look like shit. I mean, look at that thing. And the problem is I'm like self-deprecating, but now I was disgusted with her. I'm like, what the fuck is the matter with you? You gotta get some standards. I've got an unkept vagina on my face. And you've been making out with me?
That's
I'm out of here.
anything.
I am out of here. So single life's happening. Showing up here by myself. Fun activities are hard to come by. I don't mind going to dinner. I do it occasionally. I'll go out to dinner. The problem... I know, thank you. That is so true. No, but you go to dinner. Here's the thing. I don't mind going to dinner by myself, but like everyone pities you when you get there. Like I show up, whoever's seating you, she immediately looks at you. Dinner for just one. For what? Oh, look at this guy. Oh, poor guy doesn't have any friends, you know? They sit you down, look all sad. I don't know. It's horrible. I just don't like that pity look. So instead, what I do, I mainly just go to like movies. You ever go to movies by yourself? Is it? Yeah, it's the best, right? What's the best? It's expensive though. It's absolutely expensive. You go to the movies, it costs like $25 something, $30 by the time you get all your shit. So I like to go early though. I go super early because I like to get the most out of my money I can get. Spend like my $25. I get there, they have the previews, but then they also have like pre-previews, which is like trivia and like some bullshit. I don't know. I like trying to take it all in. It's the best, right? The one day I was there, they were doing this Brad Pitt trivia thing. I don't know, it's just, hey, what did Brad Pitt do before he was a super movie star who banged all kinds of chicks and was super awesome? What did he do? Well, it turns out he was like a landscaper. And it's cool because it helps you have some commonality with this guy. I'm like, oh man, I'm a landscaper. I'm just like Brad Pitt. God. It's only a matter of time before I'm out banging all kinds of hot chicks and everyone thinks I've got washboard abs. I won't though. God damn it, I'm so close. So close. Seen any good movies lately?
Yes.
I don't want to talk about it. Don't answer. It's stupid. It's stupid. No, I do like going to movies. I can't talk to anyone about movies because most of them are written by book. You know, they're some sort of book, right? I don't want to talk about, hey, I love it. I know Hunger Games. I don't pick any of them. Oh, I love that movie. I love it, right? You're going to talk to someone. They look at you and they're like, no, the movie's all right. It wasn't as good as the book, though. Yeah, wasn't as good. Oh, yeah. Oh, I get it. Okay. Oh, you read books. So proud of you. You know, it's such a bullshit, pretentious thing to say to me. Like, why can't you just allow me to enjoy the version of this story that I thought was the best without rubbing it in my face that I'm not seeing the best version? Because I'm never going to read the book, right? At least most of the time. There was one time this happened. So I can't get too mad about it. Because one time, there was a story that I read. It's in one of my favorite magazines, Penthouse, right? Yeah, well, you might have read this one. It's called, I didn't tell you, it's called Skin Train to Pound Town. Did you read that? Yeah, I got it on my Kindle. It's fantastic. In any case, they ended up turning it into a 45-minute long feature-length film. At the time, I was into some girl. We wanted to watch it. Finally, this movie gets released. Couldn't wait. We sit there, we watch it, right? It gets to the climatic part in which Savannah, she was like the heroine of the story. Right? She's in the middle getting defiled by like 5 men and a clown. Well, I look at her immediately and I'm like, you know, this is not how it happened in the book. Yeah. Yeah, you see in the book right now, they made you totally aware that this woman was trying to fill a metaphorical void, a hole, if you will, in her hearts. Yeah. Yeah. But they're just glossing over that, aren't they? Fucking Hollywood. You know, they just ruined the art of this whole entire book. It's bullshit. Oh, man. All right. I have a kid. That happened. Despite not having a marriage. It's kind of a bummer, too, because my mom always told me, she's like, hey, listen, you can't have a kid outside of marriage. And what she should have been is a little bit more specific on that phrase. Because it turns out you can have a kid outside of marriage. What she should have said to me was, I wouldn't like it if you had a kid outside of marriage. Because when I found out, I was like absolutely surprised. She called me, hey, I'm pregnant. Like, that's impossible. We're not even married. Yeah. Turns out it's possible. I have one now. Have it. Kid. He's 19. He's old. I did my part. Raised him from child. Which is pretty easy. Like, the beginning part, having a baby is super easy. Oh my God, it is, like everyone cries about it, but the beginning part, they can say just, all you do is you have the little kid, you just feed it, you know, water it, you know, put some towels down in the kitchen before you go away for the weekend. Oh, it's so easy. But it's not until they get older. Like, eventually they get older and they start coming to you for guidance. You know, they want words of wisdom. They're gonna come to you, they ask you for your advice. That happened the first time my kid was 5 years old, comes up to me, he's like, Dad, what is a slut? I'm like, oh, buddy, where did you hear that word? He goes, well, my gym teacher said that my teacher was a slut. Well, that reminds me, I better set up a conference with her right away. Get to some conferencing, right? But then I looked at him, I go, well, son, you see, a slut is when a woman runs around and has sex with all kinds of men. Is that a bad thing? Well, yes it is, buddy, yes it is. Well, except in your case. You see, if your mother wasn't such a slut, you had never been born. It's adorable. Just get out there. Be a kid. Gotta worry about bullying. That's a thing, right? I don't know. Well, that's a new word. That's like a new phrase. I mean, when we were young, it was just you got picked on, right? You just got picked on. But now it's like it's a huge thing. Hey, we can't allow kids to get bullied. Oh my God, bullying is horrible. Yeah, happened to my kid for a little while. There was this kid, Smitty. anyone named Smitty is usually a dick. I had like 3 of them in my grade, and they were all dicks, every single one of them. Kid starts beating on my kid a little bit. Not beating, actually, he was just making fun of him verbally. My son comes home, he's like, Dad, Smitty called me a nerd nose. Like, a nerd nose? Sounds like Smitty knows his shit, because that's pretty good. That's like 2 words, they got 2 N's right together. I mean, that's just classic. That's pretty good one, huh? That's a good one. I'll tell you what, you can't take that, right? And I'm not saying you go fight anybody. You gotta beat him with your mind. So I gave my kid a little thing. I'm gonna tell you, next time he calls you a name like that, what you do, you go to school, you call Smitty a fart face. Can't beat it. You can't beat that, literally. He goes, works for like 2 months. I don't hear anything about it. Everything's going great. I'm like, all right, perfect guidance by me. I'm a great parent. Got him through this. All of a sudden, my son comes back to me again. Smitty strikes again. He comes up. Hey, Dad, Smitty called me a fag bag. So you guys may see what my problem here is. Right away, that was kind of funny. I'm not saying that word is funny, because it's not. And I immediately told my son, I go, hey, first of all, we don't use that word. It is offensive, right? But at the same time, I'm like, they rhyme. I mean, it did so many, like, things in the world of, like, making fun of someone that just work together. Now, listen, I don't want Smitty making fun of my kid anymore, but I also don't want to kill Smitty's comedic gold. This is great. Yeah, it got real weird like a couple weeks later. My son comes home, and I'm watching the Indians game with Smitty. My son comes in, he's like, Dad, it's Smitty, I hate him. I'm like, son, you need to relax, buddy. I mean, you're being a real fag bag, buddy. Am I right? Seriously, that word's not cool. I raised a household. In my household, we call that's the F word, right? That's the F word. We don't use that word in my home. It's not cool. We say fuck all the time, but that is the F word. Yeah. And I'm kind of sensitive too for multiple reasons. 1, I've got a lot of gay friends, right? 2, I was a hairdresser for about like 20 years. Still do it. And for the first 10 years of me being a hairdresser, every single one of my buddies, every time me being a hairdresser would come up, they would use that word to describe me. That's just how it works. Oh, yes, look at him, hairdresser. Non-stop. Yeah, non-stop. It's embarrassing. You got a lot of good, the only thing I tell you what, I don't like to make fun of people that are just mean people, right? But I absolutely love homophobes. Not because they're cool, right? But because it's so absurd. First of all, the word is goofy. Homophobia. Like, you're not afraid of gay people. That's not what you're afraid of. That's not a real thing. You're afraid of appearing gay. And you know who they are, because as soon as they bring up anything straight, oh yeah, man, I'm into chicks. That's all I like. That's all I like is chicks. I'm so into it. Show me a dude. I won't even get a boner. I won't even work. To be honest, I'm like the opposite of gay. No, I'm the opposite. How stupid is that comment? Like you're either gay or you're not gay. There's no like opposite of gay. There's no like scale of gay that I've ever heard of. What if there was what if there was a scale, right? Like a scale of like 1 to 10, and you could vary somewhere in between there. I feel like I'd be like a 6. I'd be like a 6 gay. Like I'm a hairdresser. I do a lot of artsy things. If a guy was really good looking and I needed a ride home, I'm not saying I wouldn't do it. I mean, I wouldn't go all the way. I mean, because that'd be like a level 3 gay. I'm not that into it. But whatever. What if you can catch it? I mean, because here's the thing. Like they have it. We all know you're either just born that way. That's how it works. Experiment, whatever. What if you could catch it? Because I've got like a ton of gay friends. What if you were out one day, accidentally drank from one of their beers? Just no big deal, thinking everything's going cool. You wake up in the morning, like, man, I don't know, man, I don't feel right. I feel like I got a fever or something. I don't know what the fuck? Wasn't doing that last night. What the? Starting to feel kind of weird. I don't even know what's happening. I'm gonna go to the doctor's immediately. I can't go in this. This doesn't even match. Holy shit! You get to the doctor's like, hey, Gaz, we got that blood test going on. Yeah, we're waiting on it. He goes, but it's pretty clear pretty sure you caught the gay. I'm like, you can seriously catch that? He's like, yeah, you can, and you got it pretty bad. Matter of fact, you ever thought about being a hairdresser? Yeah, see that little zinger? Yeah, you like that? Yeah, that's classic comedy school right there. I tell you, I learned that at comedy school. Always do the comebacks. Oh man. So we're getting into the fall right now. I love fall. I'm not one of those people that only love fall. You know, like hey, fall comes around, like oh, I love the fall. I actually just like all the seasons. But fall is one of my favorites, and the reason why it had nothing to do with the weather whatsoever. It's those goddamn Canada geese finally leave. I live by a park, right? You know these Canada geese? They're freaking the long necks and stuff. They just walk around, and you can't do anything to them. You can't do anything to them because there's a federal regulation that protects them. Because apparently there's some sort of poop shortage that I don't know about. Yeah. These things are absolutely insane. You know, you walk around. One time I was out with this girl. We're out having a good time. We're at the park, we go walking by, you walk too close to these little fuckers, right? You walk too close, and immediately they're like, and I'm like, you're gonna feel like a pussy, have that happen to you. This little tiny thing doesn't have teeth, doesn't have claws, it looks like adorable, it comes at you, you're like, holy fuck! Holy shit! Did you see that? I just crapped myself. The girl I'm with, she's like a real environmentalist. She's like, oh my God, save it. There's a poop shortage. Gotta put that in a bag or something. That's why we can't kill these things. It's horrible. Fall comes up. My dad tried to get me into hunting. We got any hunters here? We got people, I know there's some real camouflage. You hunt? Not really, just putting that up there to help me out. I don't need help with my jokes. I'll make up somebody that hunts right now. Fucking guy back there's got fatigued. I know he hunts. Now my dad always wanted to get me into hunting. He's like, Dad, Jerry, you gotta hunt. That's what you want to do. So I tried to get into it for a little bit. I got into hunting. You know, but I did it my way. What I did is I went with my bare hands. That's what I did. Bare hands, I went hunting. I would lure a buck in, right? Grab it by his antlers. I would wrestle it down. And then I would fuck it. It's true. Because that's the only way you can really prove your dominance over another animal. That's the only thing that's sporting about it. Not by hunting with a gun. You're out there hunting an animal that has hooves and can't even hold a gun. And then, just to make matters worse, you get yourself into a tree stand, right? You're up above them, completely negating any offense that a deer might have. I mean, how stupid is that? You're just shooting it from here. It's not sporting at all. I had some guy try and tell me about it too. He's like, well, you see, I like to eat everything that I shoot. I mean, that doesn't really help me out at all because have you ever had venison? That stuff tastes like crap. Oh my God. It is absolutely the worst thing you can eat, right? No, you see, that is the gaminess. Yeah, you just gotta learn how to cook that out. You see, gaminess is another word for shit taste. Because that's what's in there. It is horrible.
Guess, why fishermen wear camouflage?
I don't know, asking me a question right in the middle of my fucking set. What does it?
Fucking fish can't see it, you know? What the hell does it matter?
That is the worst joke I've ever heard.
I fucked it up.
That is, I know you did.
You're better than me. Come on. I'm sorry to interrupt you, bro.
I know I'm better. Yeah, I'm so good. No, but seriously, man. So that's it. So anyway, back to my joke. The shit taste, we got the gaminess in there, right? You know what I would get into? You know what I like? Like my favorite type of meat, because I'm not against meat at all. Cow. Oh, I love cow. Cow's so good, right? You don't get to cook gaminess on a cow. You know how I know cow is good? Because they sell it at the grocery store. Yeah, the grocery store has this whole profit scheme. If you would buy it, they will sell it. There are pigs literally walk around and shit all day long, walking around, right? Somebody chops these feet off, puts them in a jar, puts them on the shelf. Someone shows up here every day and like, hey, you got any pig's feet? Oh, we sure do. Got that right here. Here you go, there's your pig's feet. Do you sell any venison here? No. Sir, we don't sell that because of the shit taste that's in there. Disgusting. Ugh. Cow is good though, huh? Cow is good. I dated a vegetarian for a minute. That's weird. That's weird. Have you ever, like, I've hung out with vegetarians, but dating one is difficult, right? Have you ever gone and eaten with a vegetarian? It is worse than drinking with an alcoholic. Like an alcoholic, they look at you and they're just like, ah, man, I wish I could do it, right? A vegetarian, they look at you like you are murdering their friend right in front of you, and it's just nothing but scorn and judgment. Oh my, are you eating that, Gaz? You know, that thing used to have a family, and it had a soul. Well, I tell you what, they overcooked this soul. This is bullshit. This is bullshit. I mean, I gave it a go-to one time. We went to an all-vegetarian restaurant. I ordered food. I don't even know what I'm ordering. I just order it. They bring it out. And it is amazing what they do with seasoning nowadays. Because they brought this vegetarian stuff out. It smelled just like food. I was like, what? Nothing but plants. It smells like food. It's amazing. You guys are like Houdini with food. I can look at my girl. She's like, oh, you know, this is pretty good. You know what it needs? A little bit of salt. I'm like, yeah. You know what? I was thinking the same thing. You know what it needs? Cow. That's what I would do. Sprinkle a little cow right on here. This dish would really take it home. It would. I'm gonna start wrapping it up here. I got one more story, kind of. In any case, so we had the COVID thing, man. I started getting into a new lifestyle with that, with the COVID. I started getting up real early in the morning, going shopping for my groceries. That's what I would do. Because you go there, it turns out no one's there in the morning. It's fantastic, right? You go there in the middle of the day, and I don't care what's going on. You got some little kid going down the aisle with his snot all over the whatever. They're just touching stuff, and it grosses me out. And I don't got to deal with that. So I go early. Nobody else is there. Here's what happens to me the other day, though. So I go, I'm in line, there's only one person there. It is completely quiet, you find out, when you're at the grocery store at this hour. This woman's on her way. She's only got like 2 items, whereas I have my entire cart. Now, I don't know how you guys are. You guys are probably more selfless than I am, but I'm not. Like, I don't care if it's just, I'm going to go home, watch movies, and jack off. I'm in a hurry to get there, okay? I am in a hurry to get where I have to get. I don't care how simple it sounds to you. So when I see her walking up, we make eye contact for a second. And we all know what's supposed to happen here. She's got 1, 2 things. I've got a cartload. You're supposed to be like, hey, would you like it in front of me? But I'm not going to do that. I just turn around like I didn't see her, and then I get back in line. Now, like I said, it's completely quiet. So when this woman, who is the cash register person, starts to scan all the food, it's like a really loud beep, and every single time it's like a fuck you to this woman. It's like, beep, fuck you, beep, fuck you, beep, fuck you. And after like 5 minutes of this, it starts to get really uncomfortable. It's like, beep, fuck you, beep, fuck you. And I am feeling pretty bad about this. Until I hear this woman say, what an ignorant asshole. Now, I don't mind being called name, right? But you need it to make sense. Because let me tell you something. You can't be ignorant and an asshole at the same time. You're either ignorant, in which you're just blissfully running around, pissing people off, but you don't know any better, because you're an idiot, right? Or you do know better, in which case you're purposely doing it, and you're being an asshole, of which case I am the latter, and I am understanding of that, and the fact that she doesn't piss me off. So I grab a candy bar, and this one I do myself. I'm like, fuck you. I look down, there's this guy, he's packing my bags. It's nice because they have a full committee there at this hour. Like, no one's going down there, like, just have everyone helping you out. This guy's like middle-aged, 45 years old, I'm guessing. He's bagging my stuff. And I look down and he's putting my detergent with my produce. Well, that's not cool. You know, I don't want my produce with my detergent. It makes it taste like detergent. We all know that, right? So, and I'm super cool about it. I'm like, hey, excuse me, sir, if you could, don't put my produce with my detergent. It makes it taste bad, and I don't like that. But he looks at me and he's like, you know what, if you don't like the way I'm packing your bags, why don't you just blow me? Right. Like, first of all, blow you? I mean, that's something you do to someone as like a reward, right? For something good that you do. I mean, if we're going to start randomly handing out blowjobs for screwing things up, my dating life is going to go totally different. Yeah, that is the worst date I've ever been on. You didn't pay for dinner. You didn't open doors. Yeah, I know. So, how about that blowjob, right? All right, everyone. Hey, thanks for coming down, Gaz. Yeah. Return to comedy, baby. Woo! I don't know what I did with this thing. You know what? 9 years ago, I kept better track of where I put this. Today, I don't fucking know. There you go.
All right, let's give it up for Gaz, our closer for the night. Let's give it up for Mr. Simon Fraser, Mr. Milwaukee.